Hello, everyone. This is Brent from history class, and this is my cultural learning experience. I went to a Buddhist temple where I live in Chino Hills, and I always passed by it, and I just thought it'd be interesting to go there for my cultural learning experience. And I'm honestly really glad that I did. So here I am at the Buddhist temple. The statue behind me was made out of 92.5% karat gold, and I know that because the two monks that ended up coming out and giving us a tour told us that the qualifications for statues that are used for prayer and tools, things of worship, stuff of that nature, the standard, the Taiwanese Buddhist monk standard is has to be 92.5% karat gold. So when I first arrived with my friend, we noticed a lot of the signs weren't written in English, that they were written in Taiwanese, and this honestly made us kind of culturally uncomfortable, and we didn't really know what we were going to expect initially. But out, over time, we were glad that we were able to go and see the temple because just of how generous and nice the Buddhist monks that were there were, and how appreciative they were of us going there and wanting to learn about their culture. So here's another sign, a billboard picture I took that was there at the temple. Here's a couple statues that were over there. Here's the farmer's market. The younger monk who spoke pretty good English told us that the market's usually opened on Sundays, and that's usually when they have celebrations, and a lot of people come over, and there's demonstrations on how to play the instruments that are there, and things of that nature. And here are three statues that the Taiwanese Buddhists worship. The one on the right is actually a European man, and he did a lot of positives for Taiwan. I didn't know many details about him because the younger monk had only been a monk for 2 years and knew very little about the three of them. So here's what we saw when we first walked in. We had to take off our shoes. There was a sign that says, "Please take off your shoes before you come in." There was an older monk sitting at the desk, and he smiled at us and gestured toward the three statues right here, and and stood up and bowed. So we stood up and bowed, and each statue, the younger monk told us that each statue represented something different. The three were key characteristics just that the Buddhists were striving for, and the bottom ones, the golden ones, were the days of the week, and depending on the third one from the left would represent Tuesday. So if you were born on Tuesday, you would pray to that statue. So I told the younger monk what I was doing and about the cultural learning experience, and he took me to their cultural room, which featured many of their instruments. This is a xylophone that they had there. This picture honestly doesn't do it any justice. The craftsmanship on these instruments were amazing and unbelievable. The one on the left was more of a drum, and these were kind of bells that you would hit, and they would make noises. And the one on the right was a variation of the guitar. You know, it had strings and chords like a guitar would have. And this one was very interesting, this instrument, because it reminded me of a guitar, but it was flat and it had very long picks. Made a pretty noise though. It was a very interesting instrument. This was a billboard that featured some of the instruments. The younger monk wanted me to get a picture of this for my project. I didn't have a lot of permission to get as many pictures as I wanted to because I don't think they were very happy with me taking pictures, and I had to ask if I could, and they kind of said, "You can take a picture of this." So these were some of the pictures that I was able to get permission to take. And I got permission to take the pictures of the fans. I thought those were very interesting and very pretty. When we left, the younger monk told us that normally Americans would shake hands and say thank you, but he had us bow and say thank you and Taiwanese and goodbye. So it's very interesting. I'm glad that I did it, and I had a good time doing it. Thank you.